Recall the most overpowered team composition you've drafted in Mewgenics. Now, imagine running that team again, forever and ever, for every adventure going forward. I've basically cracked the breeding system in this game to the point where I can produce copies of different team members all in parallel at the same time. This gives a constant stream of consistently powerful team comps. Just to be clear, you don't need to do this to beat the game. This is really for high difficulties or challenge runs. This strategy I've developed is something I wanted to talk about for two reasons. One, I just sort of added a new family to my team. And two, using this technique, I'm able to get cats with two abilities and two matching abilities and a matching passive, which makes very, very strong synergies. So if we look at, these two, they've got Teach, Learn From Me, and Mana Meld. Teach plus Learn From Me is an insane combination on its own, but then once you're able to pass all of your remaining mana, it just becomes insane. For context, I did a little bit of research for this because I wanted to make sure what I'm doing isn't completely redundant. And I haven't really seen anybody else's content that talks about this. What I've seen is people just talk about stuff like, here's how you get cats with all sevens, and here's how you continually inbreed cats to save a good passive or spell, then you use a mutation room to override birth defects from inbreeding. And that's definitely powerful, but that's kind of just scratching the surface of what you can do. Now again, this is going to make a bunch of consistently powerful team comps all in parallel. Here's how you do that. Here's how you get like an arbitrary variety of cats all being churned out at the same time. I guess first I should talk about the house setup, because that's pretty important to the strategy. The attic is the breeding room because it's got the most squares for putting down furniture, and you really want to jack up that stimulation as high as possible. I've got 87 in here, but you only really need around 60. I've had good success with that, but obviously you want it as high as you can get. Bottom right is the mutation room. You see I've got 32 mutation there. That's where you chuck the birth defect cats. This upper right is the staging room. Now, cats that are ready to go on an adventure go into the staging room, and basically all the cats that come from your power families are going to come down here. One important aspect is this idol of chastity. That's going to stop cats from breeding in this room, and that's actually imperative for this strategy to work. Bad kitties go into the battle royale room up here in the upper left. So the bottom left, this is what I consider fairly novel. I call it the bonding room. Now, I guess let me look at the attic to show you what I'm talking about. So you see I've got, Sebastian and Morticia selected here. They've got the same symbol. They're my hunter couple, and as you can see, Sebastian loves Morticia. Morticia loves Sebastian. That's very important because that sort of reciprocal attraction is going to make it so that they only breed with each other when they're in the same room. And the same goes for my other couples. So we see Kirsten and Pavan. Pavan loves Kirsten. Kirsten loves Pavan. We have Eleonora and Cusco. Cusco loves Eleonora. Eleonora loves Cusco. So how do we get the cats to be in love with each other like this? So the idol of chastity in the staging room is going to be important for keeping your cats virgins, because what I've found is that they'll become in love with the cat that essentially takes their virginity, and if it's to each other and they're both virgins, then they'll just be in love with each other. Then they'll be free to move to the breeding attic. To get this whole chain started, once you're going to just try to breed a passive like normal by placing them in the breeding room with a compatible cat. So once you have two matching cats that you want to bond, you take them out of the staging room and you put them into the bonding room. After that, they'll be in love with each other, and then they're safe to move to the attic. And they will essentially just give you infinite copies of themselves until they're old and die, in which case you can replace them with their children. So I've already sort of set this up. I got Timofey and Drasha with everything matching, so if I click end day, that should bond them. Well, I think, yeah, Timofey's one, so I'll have to do it twice. Let's just click through this. I'm gonna have some cat organization to do. Let's see. Milken. Diana. I actually believe. Yeah, I left some children up here from last night. Kaio and Minchi, so I should. Yeah, just have the 6. You go into the cat juicer. So Drasha and Timofey. Now that they're older, they should be able to bond. So let me just clean up some of this poop so there's no fighting. Or I guess less likely for there to be fighting. There, I think those are the first 2 we saw pop up. They mated. And yeah, so they actually had twins, and the twins aren't going to be very good because this is just to get them bonded. We're not actually producing the powerful cats yet, so they can just go into the Battle Royale room. But now we see Drasha loves Timofey, Timofey loves Drasha. Now they are completely safe to go up into the attic. We move the children from the attic down to the staging room where they will be perpetual virgins until they're ready to go on an adventure or be parents themselves. Okay, I actually need to move my old parents down. So there's Timofey, Pavan, or Timofey and Drasha are the new ones. It's Kirsten and Pavan. Now move down because they're old and they're ready to go on an adventure. So that's basically it. So now they have successfully replaced their parents. So doing this, you can easily add an arbitrary number of couples up into the attic, at which point they'll consistently produce high quality children for them to go into the staging room. And then, you know, once your parents, the power couples in the attic, get old, you pull out the children from the staging room, put them into the bonding room, bond them, then they go to the attic. So how do you start a new family? You're going to try to keep cats virgins in the staging room before going on an adventure. When you draft a cat that has a particularly strong synergy that you want to repeat, you're going to bond it with another virgin cat. Then that couple moves up to the attic, where once you get 2 matching cats with the same passive, and you know, the same passive spell combination that you want, then you're going to have to bond those 2 children together back in the bonding room, and then that's going to be your power couple. Then every kitten they produce will have the ideal traits that you want to continue. Obviously they need to be compatible kittens. By that I mean either male plus female, or one of them is a question mark. And the question mark cats are really good because they can make kittens with gay cats, whether it's a male gay cat or a female gay cat. And if a cat is produced that has too many mutations, then you can just throw them into the mutation room, or if they're just a normal cat that doesn't have anything special going on, they can go into the mutation room. Now, how often do I refresh the bloodline? I try to do that when the parents hit around 20. That's typically when I try to refresh the bloodline. That should give you plenty of kittens to take out on adventures. And I like to mark, you know, the power couples. So obviously the mage has the intelligence. The hunter couple has the bow and arrow. And the goofball ones, the goofball passive, have the luck. If you find that you don't have furniture adequate to accomplish this, then you probably need to do more side quests to get more money to buy more furniture, or just play the game more so that you've donated enough to Tracy or Baby Jack For the house size, I have over 100 cats, and this is actually lower than I used to have it. I used to have around 170 cats in here. Obviously, since starting this video, I haven't pruned the population at all. But with 170, that's probably too much because I was having to, you know, go on adventures just for food. If you wanted to go super hard, I could see you having over 200 cats in a house and being able to keep up that as long as you go on adventures. Editing here, I wanted to show off what the family tree looks like for my cats. As you can see, we've got siblings breeding with siblings and their children inbreeding with their own children, so on and so forth. And I'm still getting cats I want without the negatives of inbreeding, because you can just invalidate them with mutations. Now, I've just unlocked impossible mode. This strategy has carried me up through crazy, and it's been pretty easy if I'm being honest. So I think I'm going to go on an impossible run right now and record how that goes. So I hope I've explained this well, and I hope that you've learned something. I hope that you can abuse this and break this game wide open, much like I have. But yeah, I'm gonna stop recording, and I'll probably, you know what, I'll live commentate that impossible mode run that I'm about to go on. So yeah, see you later.